All right, guys, we are back with a major update, and the Dubai move is coming in fast. In today's video, I want to give you guys an update on where we're at currently. Okay, 2 months till we go. I want to give you guys some insight into what I'm doing at this point in time to prepare myself physically, mentally, business-wise, and all of the above. So I want to cover what I'm doing in my physical training. I want to give you guys an insight into how I'm readying myself mentally in terms of managing both the apprehension and the excitement. The two are pretty evenly matched. How I'm managing the administration, the paperwork, and so on and so forth. Now, this is a huge transition for me, a massive life shift. If you haven't already, watch the first video, the announcement video, which goes through what I'm doing out there, why I'm doing it, what the challenges are that I'm going to be facing in terms of being away from family for an extended period of time, why I'm doing this, what the message here is, and really who I'm trying to reach, who I'm trying to help, who I'm trying to inspire in documenting this whole journey. But anyway, without further ado, let's go through those three key areas: physical preparation, mental preparation, and then just like what I'm doing in terms of finalizing paperwork processes and all the rest of it as we lead up to the move. So starting with the physical preparations. Now, as you guys know, I work predominantly as a fitness coach. And so it's important for me to arrive in what's probably the epicenter of the fitness business, the central hub globally, Dubai, in decent shape. Now, I maintain objectively decent shape year round, but I want to level up. This whole move is about leveling up across the board. I want to build my best physique. I want to bring my best levels of discipline, fortitude, mental strength, focus. I want to expand and build my business and just expand my prospects across the board. And so at the center of that, what I preach is you master your body, you master your mind, you can master your destiny. And so physical preparation going into this is absolutely crucial. I want to go there with the confidence that I am looking and feeling my best, and I'm at my strongest and my fittest as well. So training at the moment is, I'm in a calorie surplus, so I'm gaining muscle size and strength at the moment. I'm very decently lean. I'm not competition lean, not by a long way, but I've got good definition throughout my physique, you know, good enough to be able to do demonstration videos and so on and so forth. To be comfortable shirtless in a gym setting, and to be able to make, you know, great content where I am able to show muscle in motion, where I'm able to really have the confidence to do my thing, okay? So that's important. I am gaining muscle at this point in time. I have the view to potentially compete again at the end of the year as part of this whole transformative process. I did 12 shows in my past prior to having children, and the idea excites me again. So I've started that process of looking at my physique and identifying what areas need work. So I'm currently in a caloric surplus, very gradually increasing. As we stand today, I'm consuming about 4,400 calories, about 350 grams of protein. I'm hitting a 5-day training split where I hit every single muscle twice per week. I'm doing 25 minutes of steady state Stairmaster cardio after each session. And I'm really trying to bring up some weaker body parts. So namely, trying to bring back my calf, which died after I had the Achilles surgery, after I tore it. Trying to bring up my hamstrings and trying to bring up my arms. Those are the main areas, and my back thickness and width. So, you know, there is that potential there to compete at the end of the year. It's not a central goal yet. I haven't solidified it yet, but I figured actually having a goal to aim for, a big physique goal, will only help me in a bid to integrate into the society over there, the gym group, you know, that environment, collaborate with more people who are preparing for the same competitions. I think it'll be a really valuable vehicle, a really effective vehicle to, fingers crossed, to integrate well and to get to know more people and to kind of expand my network over in Dubai. The bodybuilding network in the UK is fantastic. When I was competing, I did 1 year where I did 7 competitions. I got to know so many fantastic people, and it has that capability. It's a very niche, small group of people, but a very tightly knit group of people. And that's what I love about it. So hoping to potentially emulate that over in Dubai. So at the moment, training's on point. I'm getting up at about 6 a.m. I'm consuming roughly 5 to 6 meals per day. I am incredibly disciplined with hitting my calorie targets and my protein targets, Carbs and fats are a little bit more flexible. I'm centralizing a lot of my food around my training sessions. I'm actually consuming upwards of 700 calories intra-workout to keep the output high. And my current training split, like I said, it's 2 body parts per week, but it's pretty high volume. So over the course of a week, every muscle is getting at least 24 sets, and it's getting hit with reps between sort of 8 and 15. Okay, so that's the training side of things. The next thing I want to talk about is, what am I doing mentally, and how am I kind of balancing this pressure of the move in terms of managing excitement, managing the apprehension and anxiety, and really it's this constant mindset of embracing discomfort. Now, for me, this whole process is about leaning into the chaos. It's about making bold decisions and building momentum. Now, of course, a big part of this is how I'm going to handle the sacrifices. Yes, I'm going to be missing my time with my family. There's the stress of logistics in terms of getting out there, flying back and forth, finding the apartment that I want to live in that's close to the gym facilities, that's close to the local networks, that's close to potential clients, that's close to I do have a couple of good friends out there as well. And all of this, I'm trying to navigate this in a calm and collected manner. So, throughout this entire process, my mentality is to take an all-in approach. And what that means for me is, on a daily basis, I'm reminding myself, no hesitation, no half measures. Everything that I'm doing at the moment is focused on operating at the highest level. And whenever I feel that tension of apprehension, or if I feel the chaos of the overwhelm coming in, I remind myself, this is exactly how I should be feeling if I want to grow. I am leaning into the stress. I'm leaning into the hardship, and I'm viewing all these challenges ahead mentally. Like I said, making the move, finding the apartment. Am I going to be in the right location to network well with the right people? Am I going to be able to find a good location in relation to the gyms that I want to be working in? And so on and so forth. I'm viewing this almost as a mountain. And that sounds intimidating, but for me personally, I get excited about this idea of the bigger the mountain is, the more excited I am to climb it. The bigger the mountain, the better the story, the better the potential for victory, and the bigger the return. Okay, so the bigger the challenge ahead of me, the more I know that it's going to require the very best of me. And in actually navigating the challenges that this mountain is going to present to me, I see that as the perfect formula, the only formula to ensure true growth actually occurs. So, for me, that's really the mental approach here. It's about understanding that, yep, there's going to be hardship, but that's kind of the point. The whole reason that I'm moving out of the UK is because I kind of feel a little bit comfortable and complacent. And when things feel comfortable, and when you get a sense that complacency is kicking in, when you feel a little bit of stagnation, as an entrepreneurial type, as an ambitious person, that is the least comfortable. That is the most uncomfortable feeling that you can have. This idea that you are not being pushed or pulled towards self-betterment and towards self-actualization of actually meeting your potential. So whenever I feel that stress or that overwhelm or that apprehension or that fear, I'm like, no, Julian, this is what you want. This is what you're going for. This is the whole point of making this move, to put yourself in an environment where you are forced to deal with pressure. So that's really my mental approach going into this. The third thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, fourth if we include nutrition as a second component, but the fourth thing I wanted to talk about was the paperwork. Okay, so a lot of people are interested in doing the same thing. A lot of people are thinking about making a move to the UAE. Principally, I shopped around to find the appropriate agents to help me through this process. Now, you can go out there and figure it out for yourself in terms of setting up a visa, in terms of getting your Emirates ID, and so on and so forth. But principally, the way it works is to be eligible to live and work in the UAE, you need an Emirates ID and you need licensing to conduct the work that you want to conduct. So basically, I looked around for some agencies. You can search online. I used Common Connections, so some friends who are out there currently. I asked for their recommendations. I got in touch with 4 agencies and I inquired. I asked about what their services include. And what I did was I looked for the most complete service, the service that would pretty much walk me through the process with the least stress possible. Now, obviously this comes at a fee, In terms of total costs for just setting up your eligibility to work out there, if you are a business owner, the way it works is you're going to spend around about £5,000-ish to be eligible to live and work there for a year. And the way the process works is if you do have your own company, you will set up a separate company in the UAE. And that company will have specific licensing capabilities associated with the kind of work that you are doing. So for instance, mine is predominantly going to be e-commerce and fitness consultancy and a couple of other things, okay? So principally, I am now eligible to consult as a fitness coach online, but also in person for in-house training, one-to-one personal training, and I'm able to sell my goods as well through e-commerce, okay? So I'm able to consult, I'm able to personal train, and I'm able to sell my goods, my swimwear brand and clothing brand and so on and so forth through my business out there. So I'm setting up an additional limited company to the one I have here in the UK. And in doing so, I then become eligible to sponsor myself. My company can sponsor me to acquire a visa. And the agency that you work through will help you through this process. So it's a case at the moment of I've had my passport images sent over after having them attested and notarized. Same with proof of residence. Obviously, there's a fee and an agreement to sign with the agency that you're operating through. Once that's done, once all the paperwork has been processed, I will then be taking a flight out to Dubai to meet with the agents who will then take me through to have my medical and to set up my bank account. Now, the way this works is you rock up for a medical in the UAE, you need to have a good bill of health to be eligible to live and work there. So I believe it's blood tests to make sure that you don't have a few of the major blood diseases like HIV, hepatitis, tuberculosis, probably some others as well, and a chest scan as well to look at your lung and heart health. If you pass that, great. The next thing then is to get then you'll get your Emirates ID issued. I believe that's how it works. So once you pass a medical, you'll get your Emirates ID and your visa approved. You can't do anything over there without a Emirates ID. So that means you can't lease a car, you can't rent a property, you can't buy a property. You need to have that. So this is why, once the paperwork's approved, once your health has been approved, once you've got your Emirates ID, the next thing then to do is to set up your bank accounts, business account and personal account. And again, through the agency that I'm using, they will help me in person to set up my bank accounts. Now, once that's set up, I can then go and look for a property. So I'm hoping to fly out at the end of this month, so end of March, to go and get my medical, go and get my paperwork and my Emirates ID approved, all the rest of it. And then at that point, I'll be looking for properties with a view to move at the very end of April / the very, very start of May. At which point my year-long journey there initially will begin. And the plan is very much, provided it's a success, provided the trip goes very well, I say trip, provided my move there goes very well and I'm able to establish myself appropriately and it makes good sense and it makes good sense for the family will transition over in the next, call it 6 to 12 months, probably more like 9 to 12 months. That's a lengthier process. We decided that we're going to split it apart because I don't want to put the family at that much risk of upheaval if it doesn't work out, if it doesn't feel right, if it's not appropriate for them, if it's not appropriate for me. It's better that I take on that risk individually first and then bring the family over once I've established myself. So that would then be a case of, moving from, I'm looking for a 2-bedroom apartment so I can get guests over, but then it'll be a case of looking for a community. We've looked at a few on the outskirts, more of kind of a family feel. So that's the process in terms of getting it out there. And, it's quite a lot to sort out at this point. There's still loose ends to tie over here. I still need to speak to my accountant to talk about, how that's going to marry with this year's returns and all the rest of it. So there's a few little loose ends still to resolve. And of course, every couple of days, the agency that I'm working with are requesting different bits of evidence. They also required seeing my educational background, my degree certifications, and so on and so forth. So, the UAE is not one of these places that you can just rock up in and blag it. Like, they do want to ensure that you're going to be able to contribute, that you're going to be able to operate there legally, that you're going to be able to basically be eligible to run a viable business. I'd imagine soon they're going to want to see some of my accounts as well for the last probably maybe year or couple of years. I'm guessing. It's been hinted at. So yeah, I mean, look, it's not impossible. In fact, so far so good, right? I'm waiting for it to get a lot more challenging. There's going to be some things that come up, but I'm just accepting that. Like I said, the mindset is the mountain. Let's make it as big as possible. Let's sign up for some tough stuff. So, you know, in terms of the paperwork, that's pretty much where we're at. So just going through the process at the moment. In terms of like what you guys can expect to see here on the channel and what's coming up next, like really, you know, on YouTube, it's really about showing you guys how I'm approaching this move. I'm going to do like a weekly long form documentary style update between now and when I move, but also when I'm out there as well. Make sure you're following my Instagram and TikTok as well. There'll be shorts going up there, giving a little bit more insight into how things are working. And when I'm actually out there in Dubai, my mission really is to expand my YouTube page. As you'll see from the first video that I posted about announcing this, this is really about helping men who are ambitious feel empowered to take the step and to go all in on their ambitions, on their dreams. It's really about demonstrating the cost of excellence, of pursuing your dreams, completely unfiltered, the highs and the lows. I want to basically empower men to listen to that inner voice and go for it, to take risk on board, to put themselves in a position where they are forced to execute at their highest level, with the understanding that whether you win or lose, it's always a win when you put yourself in the arena and you put yourself in a position for growth. There are going to be lessons that you learn in failing. There's going to be growth to be had in trying and learning and failing, okay? And you just keep failing until you succeed. That is very much the mindset. Like, you are only, call it 30 failures away from your biggest success. And you have to be in it to win it. And failure is very much the cost for opportunity. You have to adopt that mindset. You know, I've failed in 1,000 things. One thing I am proud of myself in, even before I've actually got out there and made a good run at this, I'm proud of myself for putting myself in a position where I can fail. I feel way better about that than being in a position where I'm comfortable and selling myself short. Because I think most people achieve their targets, not because they are competent, but because they set their targets too low. And I would sooner create an interesting adventure in the pursuit of a highly ambitious goal that I may not completely achieve, but one that is high enough to demand the best of myself to a point that I'm at least proud of myself for shooting for it and I can be confident that I've given my best. I want a goal that's going to stretch me, and this really is that. And that's what I want to demonstrate. I want to demonstrate what it actually looks like to put yourself in a position where there is potential for massive upside, but also at the cost of immediate and at times, you know, perpetual strain and challenge. Because that's the cost of achieving something amazing, right? Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Coming up next, the next update will be going deeper, a deep dive into how I'm going to be at my absolute peak for and during Dubai. How I'm going to prepare myself physically in the best manner and how I'm going to continue my training in a manner where I will be at my absolute best physical form of my life, even better than when I was competing. So we're going to deep dive into the training split. We're going to look at the recovery protocol. We're going to look at how each element prepares me for the demands of the Dubai training. And I'm going to showcase some of the training intensity. I'm going to showcase some of the physique updates. And I'm going to talk to you guys more about the mindset as I prepare myself physically for the year in Dubai, year minimum. So guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to this channel. Let's get it. Any comments or questions, make sure you post them in the comment section below. If you are interested in making the move, if I can help in any way, shape or form, please do not hesitate to reach out. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments. I really want to build a community of like-minded individuals here who are seeking the pursuit of excellence, who are looking to make bold moves in transformative journeys. Okay, guys, thanks for following. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.